There we go. Okay.
Oh.
Let me get this. Maybe. So my first question, Doc, you can hear me?
Mhm.
Okay, great. So my first question for you, Miss Campbell, this how did you first get into counseling?
Um, well, I was a psychology major undergrad here at A&T
Hmm.
and was always interested in helping people. I think I experienced counseling and I saw how much it did for our family. And that's when life
Hmm.
gets first ignited. I think I was like in high school, that, hey, you know what? I think I want to do this. So that's how I first became interested and chose the major psychology.
Gotcha. Okay. And then so you said that you did undergrad in at A&T. Where did you go for a master's?
I did my master's at UNC Chapel Hill.
Hmm.
Program I did was rehabilitation, psychology, and
Okay.
counseling. And basically, initially I was thinking that I would go into rehab, but
Hmm.
after I decided otherwise. But what this particular program allowed is that I could take my elective coursework in the School of
Hmm.
Ed. And that way, if I wanted to be a school counselor, I had that leverage because I
Oh,
used to
okay.
want to work in the school system and I can have my summers off. you know, it did not turn out that way. So
That
it's kind
way.
of like two for one. And so I ended up
Hmm.
going into mental health counseling or what have you. But my internships at Carolina Light, my practicum, we had two practicums and one internship. So my first
Hmm.
practicum was in a chemical dependency hospital. My second practicum was at Duke Employee Assistance Program. But my third
Ooh.
practicum, because of the counseling piece, was in a elementary school. My internship was in an
Hmm. So you were able to kind of touch two of the things that you wanted to do when it came to counseling. But you were you able to ever swing back around into rehabilitation? Well, I guess when the chemical dependency aspect
Yeah, that
kind of.
aspect of it, that's the way I looked at it because my
Hmm.
first initial job out of grad school was with family and children through the Smart Start program.
Hmm.
I'm kind of being like a family child coordinator, but it was a
Okay.
grant program. But my first full-time job was an assessment team counselor at the hospital,
Hmm.
where I would assess patients and have them go to a particular level of care, whether it was chemical dependency or mental health.
Okay. And what year did you graduate from your program?
A long time ago. It was 1996.
Redacted.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've been a very long time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Got you. Lovely. And you got licensed directly out of your master's program?
Yeah, actually I got licensed probably a year after my master's program, maybe 2 years, because I got the job at the hospital.
Hmm.
And basically by the time I applied for licensure, I already had my hours.
Oh,
So it's really
I know
probably
that's
about,
right.
yeah. So that made I know it's real tedious now with the hours and stuff, and I'm so glad.
Hmm.
But I avoided it. I avoided taking that test.
Right.
And for the job that I got,
Oh.
it wasn't required license. So I
Oh.
avoided taking the exam because I hate taking standardized
Hmm.
tests.
So
And
you didn't have to do an NC.
I did the NCE, yeah.
Okay, but the licensure exam.
Yeah. All I had to do was
No.
the NCE and have my hours and then I applied.
Oh
Yeah. I
wow.
don't know what it is now, but yeah.
Got you. Got you. Interesting. Okay. Um, let's see.
And I'm also
Looking at.
NCC, so I'm a National Certified Counselor and a LCMHC.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, what does national entail?
Well, the good thing about the NCC, I know a lot of people just choose to just to do the straight route.
Hmm.
It's a national certification. So, NBCC board is
Hmm.
here in Greensboro.
Hmm.
So it's a national certification. So I just think it's good for students to go ahead and do the NCC. It's not necessarily, I didn't have to necessarily take a test for it, I don't think, but you
Okay.
can apply for it. Yeah. So yeah,
And
go ahead.
that just allows you to practice wherever you
Yeah, it's
settle
a
through.
certification. It's a
Okay.
certification license. Yeah, but I think it just looks good because the National Board for Certified Counselors
Hmm.
is a national certification, right? And then the home office is here in Greensboro.
Greensboro. Yes, I have a professor. He does the ethics part of that, so that's good to see that full circle.
Yeah, Dr.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm. We love him. He is amazing.
Dr. Brendan Hargett. That's
Yes,
like
we
one of
love
my
Dr. Really? I love Dr. Argy.
he
He is
is, he
a
is.
he's amazing. I had him for, of course, I had him for
Yes,
ethics. I had him for ethics, and he
he
told
is.
us
He is.
as much as he could when it came to like
Oh
the
yeah.
crazy stories that he had to try and stuff like that. So that's very love to hear that. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
you know Dr. Webb.
I know Dr. Webb
Hmm.
because this is my second tour at A&T because I used to be in the counseling center before. So,
Hmm.
but really, I was a clinical counselor here. I was
Hmm.
director of Greek life here. And now I'm the well-being coordinator and clinical counselor here. So this position that I have now in athletics is a
Hmm.
newer position. Yeah. So yeah, I know Dr.
Oh,
Webb. I know all, I mean,
yeah, yeah,
I'm on the board. I'm actually on the
right.
board.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know everybody.
Gotcha. Dr. Brooks too.
Dr. Brooks,
Yes.
and Dr. Sun Yu.
Hmm. Yep.
I don't
My
know her yet.
Dr.
Yeah, she
Dr.
just
Harris
started.
is this assignment
Dr.
is for Dr.
Harris.
Harris. This
Yeah.
assignment is for Dr. Harris.
Yeah. So yeah, I know everybody. So it's like I said,
Yes.
it's like coming back home, and
Hmm.
it's good.
Got you. How would you say being connected with different aspects of counseling has helped your career as you advance through your career?
I think it's been great because the thing about it, you can choose what area you want to focus on. And because I've been doing this for 30 years, I have to say this current position that I have,
Hmm.
it's been the best one. So,
Really?
yeah, because I was director of counseling at Bennett College for 12 years.
Hmm.
And I was director of counseling at Salem College for about 3 years before coming back to A&T. So I've
AT.
been in those leadership roles. And I'm really good on the second half of my life where I don't have to
Hmm.
be the person in charge. Uh,
Interesting.
I'm okay with that. The well-being coordinator, even though it's kind of like it's kind of like my office is a smaller office
Hmm.
of counseling services. I really enjoy this position because I'm still learning. I mean, whoever thought that I would be in, like looking at performance anxiety. So
Yeah.
it's allowed me to do more research, and just
Hmm.
to introduce the whole well-being model to athletics
Hmm.
because the NCAA now has an initiative to focus on the mental health of athletes.
Athletes.
And so all your HBCUs do not have a well-being coordinator. So it's kind of like a newer on the newer side of counseling, but it just kind of shows you
Hmm.
how counseling can just be expanded over so many different
Oh, so
areas.
many different fear.
I like
I
it because I'm doing something new.
mhm. I love that
Yeah.
you touched on that because that's my the whole reason why I want to do PhD in counselor education because I ultimately want to break into higher ed
Hmm.
in a similar capacity that you are. So it's refreshing to hear that there is space for that and it's growing. And
Hmm.
there's lots of room for people like newer faces in the counseling profession to add their 2 cents into it. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. And you think about too, just with the recent death of Marshawn of the Dallas
Hmm.
Cowboys and the suicide. So
Mm.
really, knowing that you can have all of these things going for yourself and
So
still be dealing with so
so
much.
much.
And so I'm just really glad that A&T is on the cutting edge of having this kind of position to support our athletes. And like you working in the office that you work in, you
Mm.
see, right?
Yes, and how it kind of intersects with academics.
Uh-huh.
And
Mm-hmm.
so that's a good the good perspective to carry in my back pocket going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But I love hearing that this position that you're in right now has, do you feel like it's not as stressful as your other position that you've carried?
Um, I think you learn how to manage your stress as a professional counselor, but the key is mental health has really changed from 10 years ago in college population.
Hmm.
Students are coming to college now already diagnosed and medicated, right?
Right.
Before, um, don't they see I'm in session?
Hmm.
Um, before, even from 15 years ago, it's just students are coming already diagnosed and medicated. You know, it used to be
Hmm.
like 19 to 20 was that psychotic break, right? Where they would
Right.
have that.
Hmm.
It's not that way anymore. You have
Not that
students
way
getting
anymore.
diagnosed at earlier ages. But I can say that my most stressful job
Hmm.
was working in the hospital because I was the front line for crisis mental health. So
Hmm.
your IVCs, somebody
Yeah.
coming in involuntary committed with the police and they're handcuffed and you're assessing them
Oh,
and they're psychotic.
yeah. Hmm.
And some days it would just be back to back to back. So that was a very stressful job, but I really think it made me a better clinician,
Hmm.
because I was able to bring that skill of crisis management to higher ed.
And
So when more chronic cases came into higher ed,
mhm.
it wasn't a big deal for me. Oh, you're hearing voices? Okay, what are those
Okay.
voices? And are they threatening to harm you? You know, are they saying harm yourself? So
Hmm.
I think that job within the hospital system prepared me to be a bring more skills to therapy because a lot
Hmm.
of your therapists don't have that crisis management
Crisis
experience.
management piece.
Yeah, and it's not going anywhere.
No,
Okay,
crisis is never going to end.
right,
Unfortunately,
especially now post COVID. You know,
post COVID for sure.
yeah,
That's- Okay,
yeah.
got you. So taking into consideration, what challenges are you facing currently within your position that you can share,
I
if
don't. I
any?
think I won't say that challenge. I think just because mental health on college campuses, the
Hmm.
severity of mental health issues is more. I don't really think it's a challenge, but I think for my particular position, even me and the athletic director were having a discussion
Hmm.
of seeing if we can get another full-time position. So it could be two of us
Right.
just to athletes only. See, right
Hmm.
now, all of my students are not athletes. You know, I do
Right.
some
Hmm.
athletes, some regular, students, but it goes under the umbrella of counseling services.
Hmm.
Really a challenge, but really more of a hey, let's revisit to see how we can best support student athletes. If that means creating another position so we can have two full-time
Hmm.
people, then we
Right.
could look at that. Yeah. So it's evolving. I'll put it that way.
It's evolving, growing pain,
Yes.
growing pain.
That's the way
Right.
to put it.
That's a good way to frame it. Would you
Mhm.
say that access to funding impacts that a lot?
Yeah, but me, even though athletics has
Hmm.
good funding, I think when we just look at our country and just
Right.
all the political,
Right.
I'm just happy to have a job. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Happy to have a job, happy to still be able to do so many of the things that we're supposed to do as counseling professionals without it being villainized or criminalized. So
Right. And
I can
even though
see
they don't want to call us professionals with the nurses, and that's a whole nother
whole
conversation.
other can of work
Right. We can talk about that offline.
line. Definitely.
Uh,
My next question is, what was the most, what advice would you give yourself as if you were to speak to your baby counselor self?
Um, I would have to say be open to
Mhm.
experience new things,
Okay.
right? Don't pigeonhole yourself.
Yourself.
Be open and available. Even though I think I came into the profession, that's why I chose to do the elective coursework in the School of Ed, because
Hmm.
I wanted to make this degree as versatile is all, you know. Yeah, just continue to be open and available to experience new things because that way if you try new things, you can really find out what your niche is, okay?
Hmm.
So yeah, hold on one second.
Oh, please go ahead. You're good.
I am sorry, I'm counselor on duty. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Right. Please don't. No, you're fine.
But what were we saying? Oh, you said if I could tell my baby counselor,
Hmm. Be
just
more
basically
open.
open to really experiencing all you can, which will help better streamline you into what you want to do. But
Hmm.
don't just pigeonhole yourself.
Yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Got you. Okay. Okay. Let's see. All right. This is a very interesting one. Describe the most outstanding ethical dilemma that you have faced as a professional counselor, and how did you handle it?
The most outstanding ethical dilemma. Hmm. And how did I handle it? I think really, I wouldn't say outstanding ethical dilemma. You just have to remember that sometimes students lie. Okay.
Hmm.
So that's why it's very important that your documentation is on point, right?
Hmm.
Because it could get to the he said, she said, so that's why it's very important for you to be on top of things with your clinical notes. And you
Hmm.
have to understand too, sometimes you're working with sicker individuals, right?
Hmm.
Like your personality disorders, where they can have manipulation and gaminess. So it's very important for you to, of course, do no harm, but really be really concise with your documentation and sometimes having to draw those lines and boundaries from an ethical standpoint without
Hmm.
doing harm, but also educating and communicating. Yeah, I think that will be it because I did have a client that had a lot going on,
Hmm.
and the behavior, it was a personality disorder, and the behavior had been exhibited with one of her professors. And
Hmm.
it's like certain personality disorders, when they
Hmm.
don't get what they want, they can. And I
Lash.
was like, oh my gosh, she's doing to me just what she did to her
Oh,
professor.
wow.
I kind of noticed it, and it
Hmm.
was like, okay. So then I was just very concise
Just
about, yeah, yeah,
gotcha.
because
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. So you have to just be very mindful about, at your ethical responsibility as a professional, and know that some of the people that you work with may have really serious mental illnesses,
Hmm.
but still caring for them in a way, in a professional way, in an ethical
Of course.
way, but being sure that you are CYA, that you're,
Yeah. Hmm.
you get what I'm saying? Yeah,
People must say, Dr. Harris says, protect your license at all costs.
exactly.
At all costs.
That
Gotcha.
part.
Okay. Boom. And then this will be our last two. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10
Um, building up this retirement here with the
years?
state. Building up this retirement with the state, and
Hmm.
yeah, and probably I have an LLC.
Oh,
So
lovely.
yeah, I do consulting, and education as far as like mental health education with churches and organizations. I've written a children's book on
Oh,
self-care. So I just see myself expanding myself in the sense where, 5 years,
hmm.
I'll probably still be here with the state, maybe 10,
Right.
I don't know, just depending. But I still have my LLC and my small business. So after retirement, I hope to expand that and
Expand
do
that.
more
Hmm.
consulting and maybe see a few clients, private practice. I've never wanted to have a private practice.
Really?
But I think in my latter
Hmm.
years after retirement, I might do a little private practice,
Got you. Okay.
because that whole self-care balance.
Self-care. Yeah, just being able, I don't feel like seeing that many clients today. I just want to see one, and that's
Right,
it.
right,
That's
right, right,
it.
right.
No insurance, just I need you to pay out of pocket. I need out of pocket,
Exactly. I
actually.
mean, at the point with everything that's going on, but like I said, I'm trying to work this degree
Hmm.
and this license to
As
and I
much.
can see it being beneficial with that. Like, oh, I'm gonna just see about 3 individual clients a week, but I really enjoy the coaching and the
Hmm.
consulting. You know how a lot of counselors now are doing coaching and counseling.
Counseling. Hmm.
So because coaching is really solution focused therapy, really,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I see a lot of colleagues that are combining the two, or utilizing coaching, So I think it's just
Hmm.
you're open.
Oh, being open. Got you. So in our last 3 minutes, one of my last questions is
Mhm.
where do you personally see the field of counseling going towards within the next 10 years?
Continue to grow. This little hiccup with us not being professionals. I hope that will be reversed because our jobs are very important,
Yes.
and mental health is not going anywhere. There's a need, and I think people are more open to counseling now than ever, just because
Ever?
of what we live in. So yeah, hopefully after this little hiccup and the administration and all this stuff that's going on, it can get back to the growing
Hmm.
and helping others. Yeah.
Others. Got you. And then I have to make it about me just a little bit. What advice would you have for me I am like a year and a half out of becoming a licensed counselor? What advice do you have?
I have what I would say for you is continue doing what you do. We work together, with
Hmm.
athletes in presentation, and I think you're going to make an excellent counselor. But continue to really be open to chart your own path
Hmm.
in this field. And that's the great thing about it. You have that leverage. You don't have to look like everybody else and do what everybody else does, But
Mm,
find your niche, find your passion, and really stick to that. Don't do the comparison thing. Really, really, pursue what you desire. And we know our profession, we don't get paid what we should get paid, right? We're not
right.
in a profession, so you gotta love what you do.
Oh yeah,
So if
for sure.
you do, then be sure that you choose an area that you're
Mm,
going to be passionate about it because
about
it's really not about the money. Um,
it's not. Mm,
but definitely make yourself versatile in the point where you can do other things
things.
to
Mm,
have, like me, like I mean, whoever I have been doing the consulting forever. And I was like, I need to make this a business
business.
because I'm doing stuff for free and I
Free.
could really,
Oh,
yeah. So that's what made me start my LLC.
okay. That's very inspiring. Because I've recently started looking at what consulting would look like for me. So I'm
Mhm.
glad that you shared that piece as well, Miss Campbell. I really do appreciate you for
Yeah,
taking
I
time. I know
appreciate it.
you're so busy, but I appreciate you taking carving out a little time for me. I
Oh,
greatly
most definitely. I
appreciate
didn't
it.
mind at all, Ethan, and it's been great. And maybe we can partner, some other
Yes,
projects for sure.
spring will be a little bit less hectic, so hopefully we can collaborate on some things that come up the pipeline.
Yeah, most
Yes,
definitely.
of course, of course. Well, thank you. I'm gonna let you go because we have a less than a minute left.
Okay, take
All right.
care.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one. Have a good
You
holiday.
too. You
All right.
too. You as
Bye-bye.
well.